I want to be in the video. I'll be excited when I hear it. I'm going to be happy when I hear my voice in it.
I don't know if people are going to be happy hearing your voice in it.
Yes, I will.
How about the new console launches? Am I right?
Team Canada.
Hey, what's going on, guys? SeeJayAre here. We today are going to just kind of talk and go back and forth about these new consoles that are coming out. I've got Gamer Alley on the line here.
Hey, guys.
Hopefully,
Hey,
hopefully you can pick them up through my microphone. But yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about what's been going on with these new console launches. We've got the PlayStation 5 coming out on November 12th, the Xbox One Series X coming out on November 10th. We've got the Oculus Quest 2 coming out late October, which I have pre-ordered all three of these consoles. I've been saving all my pennies now for months, so I pre-ordered all three and I'm super excited. I haven't been this excited for a console launch. I feel like since the Xbox 360, I've been telling Matt that I've been downloading and listening to so many Xbox and PlayStation specific podcasts just because I'm pretty excited for these launches, and I think it's going to be an exciting Christmas. Now that I have kids, I feel like I can kind of enjoy these new consoles with the boys. Matt, which consoles are you getting at launch?
nothing, but I want to get the Xbox.
How come you're not getting it? Matt has no job. Matt's been off work at McDonald's
More than 6 months.
for more than 6 months. Now, I originally told Matt that he probably wasn't going to be back till he thought it was going to be 2 weeks. So it's gone a little bit longer than Matt was hoping. So yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about the consoles and the pre-ordering process. I know it was kind of a mess. So the PlayStation 5 event that happened, I actually totally forgot about it. And I was watching it later. Actually, I was talking to Matt on the phone as I was watching it. And then a tweet came through from Best Buy letting people know that pre-orders were live. So I quickly just went right over to Best Buy, logged into my account and pre-ordered one. Pretty easy process. And then I kind of watched the madness unfold. Basically, it was sprung on people. Sony mentioned that you would have a lot of notice when pre-orders would happen. And then they just kind of happened. Now, there was some speculation as to whether this was retailers going ahead without Sony's knowledge. I can tell you for a fact this is not the case. Sony knew that retailers were setting up pre-orders. I actually got an email from somebody at Sony Canada and it said specifically that pre-orders would go on sale as early as later tonight, which was the case. So a bit of a mess there. I'm hoping that you guys out there got your pre-orders in for the PlayStation 5. I got mine in. I got one through Best Buy. I was going to get a backup, but I actually didn't. I'm pretty confident with Best Buy. I'm actually pretty confident that it's going to show up here on the day of release. Now, when it comes to the Xbox One Series X, obviously they did that much differently. I don't know if it was better. It was a total mess again. It was actually harder for me to get that Xbox Series X pre-order in, but when I did, I got one at Best Buy again, and then I eventually got one through Amazon almost as a backup. So what I'll do there is keep whatever one I get hopefully on launch day. And then most likely there'll be somebody at work. I work at a pretty big company, and I already talked to a guy yesterday that was on the fence, and I said, I've got a pre-order here if you want it. Or if Matt can somehow come up with an obscene amount of money by that time, maybe you can buy my pre-order. Sorry, what were you saying, Matt?
I heard that the Xbox was actually more of a mess than PlayStation. I was reading.
It did seem that way to me. And one thing about the PlayStation 5 with them just putting pre-orders out there, it allowed people who wanted the consoles to get them. Yes, some people didn't get them, but what happened was resellers weren't able to set up their bots to snatch them all up. And that's clearly the case of what happened with the Xbox Series X. The Microsoft website crashed in the first minute that I tried to refresh. It was crashed. So it wasn't just people trying to get in there and get their consoles. It was clearly bots trying to buy them up and resell them. And then, Matt, we also saw a pretty funny story come out about the sales of the Xbox One X. You have to correct me, Matt, if I say Xbox One Series X. But the Xbox One, the older console, having like a 700% jump in sales because people were mistakenly ordering the wrong console. To which I said, hopefully somebody set their bots wrong and they're now sitting on a stockpile of last generation's consoles that they can't sell. That would be amazing. So let's take a quick look. Now, I will say I totally understand if you're going to wait for this launch. I totally get it. Even if you're one of those people that like, hey, now's the time I'm going to pick up a PS4 or Xbox One, that's a smart move. Now, I'm the type of person that I love having the newest and latest consoles. Console launches excite me like no other. So I totally understand if you're waiting, if you're on the fence, that's fine. I'm going to start with the PS5 here. Probably for both consoles, I would probably one of the worst launch lineups of all time in terms of numbers of games. Now, obviously, COVID has affected the production of these video games and being able to complete development. So I'm going to go through the launch titles, not very many. So Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, you can get the Game of the Year or Ultimate Edition, which actually comes with a updated version of the original Spider-Man game to run on PlayStation 5. That's the only way you can get that version. I think that's a little bit strange in my opinion. But I've pre-ordered Miles Morales, super excited to play that game. I love the Miles Morales storyline, and I absolutely loved the Spider-Man game that came out probably 2 years ago now, Matt?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyways, Astro's Playroom. Astrobot Rescue Mission was a fantastic game on PlayStation VR, and I'm super excited to play this. This is more of just like a general platformer, 3D platformer. Takes advantage of the DualSense controller, haptic feedback, that kind of stuff. That comes preloaded on all consoles. Super excited for that. Demon Souls Remake looks absolutely gorgeous. I think it's possibly one of the only games, it's not the only game, developed specifically for the PlayStation 5, which is another topic of discussion. I'm not into Demon Souls games, but I know a lot of people are. Destruction All-Stars. Vehicular combat. It almost looks like Rocket League without the ball, without soccer. You're basically... Did you just swear on my video, Matt?
Sorry, I dropped something.
Yeah, well, now I have to go back and edit out your swear word.
I'm sorry, I know what that was.
Try and keep your swear words down.
Okay, sorry.
So I'm not super excited about Destruction All-Stars. I've been watching all kinds of video on these. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, basically an enhanced version of Devil May Cry 5. I actually never played Devil May Cry 5, so that might be one I might consider. Fortnite, obviously, that's going to be huge in our family. Godfall, I'm actually not super familiar with because it's just showing up on this list for the first time. I didn't see that there before, so that one I'm not even sure about. And Sackboy, a Big Adventure, which I thought was going to be a PS5 exclusive, but it's also coming out on the PS4. Looks like kind of a multiplayer platformer, Little Big Planet, all pre-made levels as far as I know. And then, of course, Sony announced the PlayStation Plus collection, which pretty good value. Obviously, nowhere near what you're going to be getting with Game Pass. But if you're somebody that missed out on the PS4 generation, the last generation of PlayStation consoles, this may be something that's pretty appealing for you. Stuff like, I don't know, Battlefield 1, God of War, The Last of Us, Persona 5, Ratchet & Clank, Resident Evil 7, Until Dawn, Uncharted 4, Mortal Kombat X is one that I actually didn't get to play, so I'll play that. Last Guardian, Infamous Second Son, Final Fantasy 15, Fallout 4, interesting one there. Detroit Become Human, underrated game. Days Gone, another great game. But to have those games there day one for you, ready to play, is a nice bonus offered by PlayStation. So moving over to the Xbox One Series X launch lineup, I think Spider-Man is the real big one here. I think that's the differentiator. I think that is the best launch title. Now, the best thing right now that Xbox has to offer is Gears Tactics, which is actually a really good game. If you're into XCOM, you'll really enjoy this. It's a tactics game based in the Gears universe. I've played it on PC, and it's actually really well done. I'm not sure like critically how well it's done, but I thought it was actually really good. So that will be there for you day one on Game Pass. Also, you're getting Tetris Effect Connected, a game that came out on the PS4, I want to say 1 or 2 years ago, Matt, probably something like that. I think it was in contention for Game of the Year for me. I liked it that much. It's absolutely fantastic. I played it in VR on the Oculus Quest. We'll talk about the Quest after this. So that will be there for you day one as well on Game Pass. So, I mean, already day one, pretty good value there for you to sign up for Game Pass. We've also got third-party titles. Interesting that some, by this list at least, I've seen some conflicting lists. This is through Newsweek, this article that I pulled up, but FIFA 21 is there. Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Watch Dogs we know are going to be on both consoles day one. But another exclusive that I'm somewhat interested in is Yakuza Like a Dragon. This is a game that I think Xbox bought exclusive rights for. I think it's already out in Japan. I'm a fan of the Yakuza series. I really enjoy them. This one's a little bit different in that it's a turn-based RPG.
Yeah, because they're making a leap from Sony to Xbox.
Well, they've always, I think the games have been on the Xbox.
Have they? Oh, I know PS2 Yakuza was just Sony.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I'm trying to think, because any Yakuza game I played was on...
Yakuza 0 is on PS4 too.
Yeah, let us know in the comments, which I'm not an expert on Yakuza, but this one's interesting to me. It's usually like action RPG. It's turned to turn-based RPG, so I'm interested to see how they'll handle that. Observer System Redux, I don't know much about that. That's a new one that I'm seeing on this list, as well as Bright Memory, so I haven't done, and Falconeer. I haven't done much research into them. I've been actually digging deep into some games to decide what I want day one. Fortnite will be there. Dirt 5 is one that's like cross-platform as well. Was out on it's coming out on the Xbox and I believe PS4 as well. But it'd be nice to get a racing game day one. I know they're doing something with the Forza Horizon. What are we at, 4?
Yeah, I think Forza Horizon 4, and I think the new one is, I think it's Forza 7, or is it Forza?
Forza 7, but I don't even know if Forza 7 for some strange reason ever came to Game Pass. I'm not sure if that ever came, but anyways. As far as I know, Forza 4 and Gears are getting like some HD texture or upgraded visuals for the Xbox One X. So, Matt, did we talk about the... let's talk a little bit about the Xbox Series S. So this is a great entry point if you've got a 1080p TV and you haven't upgraded to 4K, which I'm sure a lot of people haven't. You know, the Xbox Series S is a fantastic option for you. There's no disk drive. It maxes out at 1440p for resolution, but it'll look great on your 1080p television. I think full 60 frames per second on pretty much every game at this point.
That's one I would get.
Yeah, Matt. Hey, Matt, which one would you get if you had the choice?
The Xbox One S, because I'm just gonna mostly get it for the Game Pass and EX.
Yeah, and you have no use for 4K because your eyes aren't good enough to see in 4K anyways. I always joke with Matt because he says he doesn't have a vision issue, and he went to the optometrist at a Walmart, and that person told him that his vision was fine. Sometimes he looks at you sideways. Like you can tell he turns his head to look at you. So I joke with Matt, can your one good eye see 4K? Anyways, Matt's just got a smaller TV in his room. So like, you know, if I didn't have a 4K TV, the S would be something that I would consider too. I think it's great value. I guess we should quickly touch on the value points between the PlayStation 5 all digital, which is at $399 US, and the Xbox.
It's $499 Canada.
Yeah, and the Xbox Series S, which is $300 US. So.
Is it $379 in Canada? I can't remember.
Yeah. So with the PlayStation 5 all digital, you're actually getting the full powered PS5. With the Xbox One S, you're getting less power, less teraflops. But I'm not sure if that's anything you're going to notice if you're playing on a 1080p TV. So, and also that $100 US is enough of a jump for some people to get over to the Xbox side of things, and the value proposition with Game Pass and Matt, the what's it called? Xbox.
I forgot to mention the Xbox controllers work on.
Yes.
Xbox One controllers work on that.
That's a good point, and that's something that I'm taking advantage of. I'm actually not buying an extra controller for the Series X right now. I'm just going to use one of the Xbox One controllers. I have two. The boys will use those as the second and third player. But I wanted to talk about Xbox All Access, which is, I think it's All Access. Xbox, I'm pretty sure it's All Access. Sometimes I get messed up with these naming conventions. But basically, it's a monthly payment plan for you to get the newest Xbox console. I think it's around 30-something for the S and 30, or maybe just under 30 for the S and 35-something US for the Xbox One Series X. You'll get, it's a 24-month payment plan. You'll get access to Xbox Live, Xbox Game Pass, and they've also thrown in EA Access. I think it's called EA Play, which is a nice little bonus. That's like another $5 a month. You get access to a bunch of games in EA's vault. All the Mass Effect games are in there. Skate games are in there.
The last year's sports games.
Last year's sports games. The sports games usually show up like 6 months after release, Matt?
Maybe 6 or yeah.
So it's a pretty good value.
But you also get 10 hours of the new ones.
Yeah, so you get a 10-hour trial of any new
You get
EA
it
game.
like 3 days early.
And you get it early, yeah. So nice little bonus there. So that payment plan is actually really good. I think it actually works out. I think I heard somewhere that one of them works out to being about $60 cheaper over the long run. Even if it's the same price over the long run. If you're getting an Xbox console, 100% you should be getting Xbox Game Pass. So that's an expense that you're probably you should already have. So, doing that payment plan might be the way to go for you. Now, in Canada, at least, that hasn't opened up yet. So that wasn't part of the initial Xbox pre-order. So, I don't know if I touched on the rest here, but Marvel's Avengers, Fortnite's another big one. That's what's going to be played at my house a lot. My boys are obsessed with Fortnite right now for launch day. So, not the most exciting launch in terms of number of titles. Matt, what would you say your favorite launch? I'm looking at the Dreamcast because I know my favorite launch. What would you say your favorite console launch was?
If you just any console launch game, my favorite one's gotta be Tekken Tag Tournament for PS2.
Okay, and what's your favorite launch?
Probably the favorite launch is Dreamcast.
I know.
I don't know.
In my head, I'm pretty sure Sonic Adventure. I'm trying to remember if Soul Calibur was there day one and Power Stone.
I might go back to. I'll let you pick Dreamcast. I'll pick Game Boy.
The original Game Boy.
Yeah, I try to remember some. I think Mario Land.
Matt, there's no way you remember the launch of the original Game Boy.
I remember some of it.
How old were you? 4?
No, that was 89. I was 6'6". I just remember from past hearing on, I think tennis was one of the launch games, F1 race.
I remember I was so blown away. My friend got a Game Boy for Christmas, and I was like, "Oh my God, a Nintendo in your pocket!"
Yeah,
I was like, not quite, but I was so jealous. Super Mario Land.
Now stuff has changed so much with the backlights.
Yeah, so looking at these launches, there's a couple articles out there that break down the last 10 console launches, and in terms of numbers and in terms of exclusive games, these are some of the lowest ever. So I totally cannot fault you guys if you're going to wait out this launch and get the consoles a little bit further down the road. But like I said, I'm somebody that loves a good console launch and likes to have things when they come out, and absolutely love this time of. Not time of year, but when consoles launches come around. The last one I wanted to get to quickly was the Oculus Quest 2. So I had the Oculus Quest 1. Absolutely love it. I've had the HTC Vive. I've had the PlayStation VR. And the Quest was by far my favorite headset of all time. Now this new Oculus Quest 2 is actually more powerful, better visual fidelity. And it's actually cheaper. I think it's like $100 cheaper than the other one was at launch. So I'm pretty sure you can get your hands on an Oculus Quest 2 in the States for like $300. At that price, if you're on the fence about getting into VR, go buy yourself an Oculus Quest 2 because you won't be disappointed. I play my Quest right in this area, move everything out of the way. There's no wires. It uses, I forget the name of the technology, but inside-out tracking, so the cameras on the headset track where your hands are positionally, and it can remember your play space. You draw a perimeter. Next time you come back, it remembers it. It's pretty impressive tech. And I'm hoping I'll get that one day one. I pre-ordered it, but I was a little bit late on that one. So
You're going to touch on what games do you want the most for the launch? We should do that.
well, the only one for me that I'm actually really excited about is Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Yeah? What about
Nothing.
Xbox?
Yeah, there's nothing there that really excites me day one. Tetris Effect, if you haven't played Tetris Effect, you absolutely should be excited for that.
I want that one. Yeah, I want that one.
Okay. But for me, who's played it years ago, I'm not super excited about a game that I've already played. For me, it might be Gears Tactics is good. For me, it's going to be a couple days later. My entire life's going to be all about Cyberpunk. So nothing's really going to matter. I'm going to be playing Cyberpunk on my Series X. Now, good news and bad news. CD Projekt Red has announced that they'll be coming out with a kind of like a upgrade pack to bring it more in line with this current gen's console. So take better advantage of the power that these consoles are putting out. So, more crisp visuals, possibly a better frame rate. Now that, unfortunately, the bad news is that's not coming till down the line, 6 months to a year down the line. So most people who are picking that game up day one won't get to experience those fully upgraded and visuals geared towards the new platforms. Now they have stated, obviously, that it will run better on these generation of consoles than the previous gen. So faster load times, stuff like that. So super excited to play that one. So Matt, when do you think you'll be getting into the new consoles?
I'll probably get it like sometime in 2021 when I go back to work.
What about if you asked for one for Christmas?
I won't get one for Christmas.
Why, have you been a bad boy?
I'll trade it, right?
Yeah, you'll probably trade it, yeah. Why don't you ask the people out there to go together and get you one? Anyways, guys, I've got some interesting videos coming up, so stay tuned to this channel. But head over and follow me on Instagram, instagram.com/SeeJayAre. I've got a couple interesting giveaways coming up, so head over, follow me there. You can keep up with me and my day-to-day, me walking the boys to school, what I'm playing, all that kind of cool stuff. And good luck finding Gamer Alley, because he changes his name every second day and deletes channels. So I don't think.
I'm on my channel now.
All right, but I can't give him a shout out. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your continued support. Till the next episode.
If you're not Gamer Alley, man.